Have you ever noticed how Japanese homes always seem to be clean, organized, and filled with a light, pleasant energy, as if cleanliness happens naturally and effortlessly? Well, it's not magic. In many Japanese households, keeping the home clean is not the result of endless cleaning sessions, but rather of simple, intentional habits that become part of the routine almost automatically. And the good news is that you too can adopt these practices, even if you have a busy schedule or don't particularly enjoy cleaning. I'm your guide, and in today's video, I'm going to show you 10 Japanese habits that have the power to completely transform the way you take care of your home. The last habit is, without a doubt, the most impactful one, and it completely changed my perspective on domestic organization. So stay until the end and tell me in the comments which of these habits you already practice or which one you plan to try first. Let's get straight to the point. The first habit is probably the most well-known, but many people still underestimate how effective it is. Taking off your shoes before entering the house might seem like a small detail, but this simple action prevents thousands of bacteria, chemical residues, and street dirt from spreading across your floors. Studies show that the soles of shoes can carry more than 400,000 bacteria. That's right. And if you have small children who play on the floor, this habit becomes even more essential. To adopt it successfully, create a small space right at the entrance with a shoe rack, a bench to make changing shoes easier, and even clean slippers for guests. In addition to protecting your home's hygiene, this ritual also symbolizes a separation from the outside world, creating an atmosphere of peace and welcome. The second Japanese habit worth highlighting is functional minimalism. Unlike aesthetic minimalism, which is often associated with cold and impersonal spaces, the Japanese approach values the meaning of each object. There is a concept called ea, which represents intentional empty space, that visual silence that brings balance to the environment. By asking yourself whether each item in your home has a clear purpose or brings you joy, you begin to eliminate everything that only takes up space. You know that it might be useful one day thought? Well, that mindset is one of the biggest enemies of organization. The result of this conscious selection is surprising. Fewer items, less dust, fewer daily decisions, and more peace. Have you ever tried doing this kind of sorting by category? Start with clothes or kitchen utensils, then move on to the rest of the house. Little by little, you'll realize that quality is worth far more than quantity. The third habit is called daily preventive cleaning. The philosophy behind it is simple. Small actions done consistently are more effective than big cleaning days done once in a while. The Japanese even have a word for this principle, kaizen, which means continuous improvement. Instead of setting aside an entire day for cleaning, they dedicate 10 to 15 minutes a day to keeping the house in order. This includes quickly wiping down counters, putting objects back where they belong, wiping frequently used areas, and so on. Here's a tip. Keep basic cleaning products handy in every room. A cloth and a multi-purpose spray can work wonders. Have you ever tried this type of daily maintenance? Share in the comments if it worked for you. The fourth habit is vertical organization. In a country where space is limited, the Japanese have learned to use every centimeter intelligently. Instead of stacking things horizontally and forgetting what's at the back of the closet, the idea is to store items vertically so they're all visible and accessible. This applies to clothes, utensils, documents, and even food. Vertical folders, open boxes, and well-distributed shelves all help prevent clutter and make daily routines easier. This technique helps reduce duplicate purchases and keeps the house visually more organized. Have you ever thought about reorganizing your closets this way? Now, we move on to the fifth habit, the one-touch principle. And here's a real game changer. How many times do you pick something up but don't put it back in the right place right away. You leave it on the table, on the bed, or in the corner of the kitchen, and then it just stays there, adding to the mess. The one-touch principle suggests that when you handle something, you take it directly to its final destination. No more leaving it for later. This prevents clutter from building up and saves time in the future. For this to work, it's important to identify the main clutter zones in your home: the chair full of clothes, the countertop piled with mail, the kitchen counter with random items. Then create practical solutions like baskets, trays, and hooks to deal with them automatically. Over time, this habit strengthens your ability to make quick decisions and removes the burden of procrastinating on small tasks. The sixth Japanese habit is the principle of breathing space. It teaches us to never fill closets, drawers, or shelves to their maximum capacity. The rule is to use at most 70% of the available space, leaving room to breathe, which makes access easier, prevents damage to objects, and allows for future reorganization without effort. Visually, this also creates a sense of lightness and abundance, much more than overcrowded spaces ever could. Contrary to what many people think, having less but with more space conveys much more comfort and even a sense of wealth. The question is, are your drawers breathing, or are they suffocating? The seventh habit is the 3-second rule. It's a quick mental exercise, but an extremely effective one. Here's how it works. Every time you're about to leave something out of place, ask yourself, can I put this away in 3 seconds? If the answer is yes, and it almost always will be, put it away. This breaks the cycle of clutter at its root. Used cups, clothes lying around, books left out of the shelf. Small actions that may seem harmless, but accumulate quickly. When you get used to making these quick decisions, organization stops being an obligation and becomes a natural reflex. And the best part? Your home practically keeps itself in order. Now let's move on to the eighth habit: household stations. This means designating specific spaces for each recurring activity, such as making coffee, studying, doing laundry, or skincare. The secret is to set up these small areas with everything you need, from start to finish. A coffee station with cups, pods, and napkins, for example, or a workstation with pens, chargers, and notepads. This prevents items from being scattered around and saves precious time. Moreover, it creates a sense of practicality that transforms your daily routine. Do you already have any functional stations in your home? The ninth habit is micro-cleaning. This is one of the habits that has helped me the most in my routine and will definitely make a difference for you too. It's a powerful approach that breaks tasks into small chunks of 1 to 5 minutes throughout the day. Instead of reserving hours for heavy cleaning, you spread out tasks during idle moments. While waiting for the rice to cook, clean the counter. During commercial breaks, organize a shelf. While on the phone, wipe down the table. This practice reduces mental resistance and prevents the kind of buildup that causes overwhelm. Plus, by keeping cleaning flowing naturally, your home stays in an almost constant state of order. Have you tried doing micro-cleaning during the day? Or do you still rely on Saturday to get everything done? And finally, the 10th and last habit, and perhaps the most symbolic, is the ritual of gratitude for your space. It might sound strange, but it can completely change your relationship with your home. The idea is simple. Develop an attitude of appreciation for the objects and spaces that serve you every day. Thank your bed for the rest it provides, the kettle for the warm tea, the closet for protecting your clothes. This gesture, whether mental or physical, like taking better care of what you have, transforms the feeling of just another chore into I'm caring for my home. And when we care with love, the return is immediate. More pleasant environments, better preserved objects, and a constant sense of well-being. These 10 Japanese habits go far beyond mere organization techniques. They are a philosophy of life. By applying just 3 or 4 of them to your routine, you will already notice a drastic change in your home's energy and in the way you handle daily tasks. Over time, these practices become as natural as brushing your teeth. And when you look back, you'll realize that the most important thing wasn't even the clean house. It was the time and peace of mind you gained from it. Now tell me, which of these habits are you going to try first, and which ones are you already following without even realizing it? I love hearing about your experiences in the comments. If this video helped you, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone else who also deserves to live in a lighter, more functional, and welcoming home. See you next time.